The mansion was too quiet for a house that rich. Marble floors, glass walls, a chandelier like a frozen waterfall. And somewhere in that cold perfection, a little boy cried until night went thin. His name was Michael. 8. Deaf since he was a baby. He didn't make a sound most days, just watched lips, watched hands, watched the room the way sailors watch sky and sea. But tonight his chest shook. His fingers pressed hard against his temples. Tears ran fast, like rain racing on a window. Staff rushed. Footsteps. Whispered sorries. 100 gentle chhs that never reached him. The billionaire, Robert Hale, stood helpless, jaw set, expensive watch catching the chandelier's light. He could buy a city. He could not buy this one thing, quiet in his son's body. Call Evelyn, he said. Find John. Where's Emma? Then the new maid stepped forward. Sophia. First day. Small, steady eyes. A thrift store coat folded under her arm. She didn't run. She didn't talk. She sank to her knees in front of Michael and exhaled slowly, like someone blowing dust off a sacred book. She signed, clumsy, honest, shy. Hi. I'm Sophia. Michael stared. His breath hiccuped. Miss, John, head of security, said. Back away. He gets worse with strangers. Sophia tilted her head. Listening, not with ears, but with skin. The teacup on the tray trembled. The chandelier crystals shivered. The marble hummed like a power line. Do you know that feeling when a room looks normal but feels wrong? Have you ever felt sound you couldn't hear? Sophia slid her palm across the floor. The hum stung her wrist. Michael flinched. She lifted him. 10 steps away from the gallery wall. His crying softened. One more step. Softer. She stopped. He breathed. Everyone saw it. What are you doing? Robert asked. Sophia looked at the portrait on the wall. Behind the gilded frame, a tiny blue light blinked, mean and polite at once. She didn't touch it. Not yet. She signed one word to Michael. Safe. He stared at the light. The crying stopped. Silence. A long, aching pause. What do you think is hidden behind a beautiful wall? What happens when the quietest person in the room points to the loudest truth? Sophia started at dawn. New uniform. New keys. New rules. The kind of job you hold in your teeth because you can't afford to drop it. Her mother had said, hold your shoulders back, sweetheart. Rich houses test your posture. She'd smiled, pocketed bus fare, and promised herself she would keep this one. Evelyn, the head housekeeper, walked her through marble and glass. Kitchen first. East wing second. Don't touch Mr. Hale's study. If Michael cries, call me. He doesn't like strangers. I'll be gentle, Sophia said. The house introduced itself with attitude. Every heel click rang like a bell. Even the air felt rehearsed. Outside, pines swayed. Inside, the chandelier glittered like a still storm. Michael rolled a blue rubber ball over a wool rug. When he saw Sophia, he froze. Not afraid, exactly, but measuring. She raised a hand in a clumsy hello. He lifted his, cautious and curious, then tracked her mouth the way sailors track a horizon. Don't try to sign, Evelyn whispered. He went through a phase. Gave up. People don't give up, Sophia murmured. They get tired. The day moved. Breakfast plates. Polished silver. A cloud slid over the sun. The rooms cooled to a pale blue. And then Sophia felt it for the first time, a pressure without sound. The teacup by the gallery quivered. Concentric rings shivered, vanished, returned. Michael's shoulders climbed toward his ears. He pressed both palms to his head. Tears pushed out like something heavy trying to leave. He made no sound and still the room felt loud. Sophia crouched. Michael. She spoke with her face more than her mouth. Soft eyes, slower breath. She signed 2 words she knew. Breathe. Safe. He watched her hands as if they were small lights in fog. Another ring wobbled in the tea. The chandelier crystals whispered against one another. Have you ever stepped into a place and thought, something is screaming but I can't find its mouth? What would you check first, the child or the room? John appeared in black suit and certainty. Miss, back up. Protocols. His voice had hard edges. His eyes never left the security panel. What's behind that painting? Sophia asked, nodding to Robert's portrait. Art, John said. And systems you don't need to know about. Sophia slid her palm over the marble. The hum nipped her skin. She took Michael 6 steps away. His crying softened, like a dial turning left. 6 steps back, louder. 6 forward, quieter. She tried again. The pattern held. There, she whispered. There you are. Evelyn watched, eyes widening. How did you? I just felt it, Sophia said. He isn't crying because he's deaf. Something is hurting him. John's jaw clicked. He hears nothing. That's the fact. Sophia lifted the cup. The rings thickened when she faced the portrait. She turned left. They flattened. Right. They grew. Then why does the cup sing toward the wall? Silence. Everyone stilled. Robert stepped from his office like a storm choosing a direction. Explain. I can't, Sophia said, unless you let me look behind that frame. Her hand hovered, not touching, just asking. She set the teacup down and reached, just as John's hand clamped around her wrist. Would you pull away and risk your job, or leave a child in pain? Enough, John snapped. Step back. Sophia turned to Robert instead. Sir, with respect, every time I move Michael away from this wall, he calms. Every time I move him closer, he cries. 30 seconds. Let me check. Robert studied her. Money had made him fluent in caution. Fatherhood made him brave. John, stand down. Sophia slid the portrait aside on silent rails. Behind it, a small black device blinked a tidy blue. Sticker, Youth Deterrent, 19 kHz, Perimeter Comfort Technology. Her mouth went dry. You're running a high-frequency deterrent inside the house? It's for the gallery glass, John said. Keeps teens from loitering. Keeps drones off. Low power indoors. Low to whom? Sophia asked. She lifted her palm. A thin pressure pricked her skin. Michael shook his head hard, eyes pleading. He pressed his fist to his chest and tapped, like he was counting pain. Have you ever seen a child ask for mercy without words? Would you touch the thing making him hurt? If the rules say wait, but a child is suffering, which law do you obey? Sophia flicked the switch. The blue dot died. The chandelier went still. The teacup smoothed like a lake at dawn. Michael's chest softened. His fingers uncurled. A surprised breath. A tiny, startled smile. Silence. A good, round one. Everyone breathed it. Robert swallowed. John. Harmless to most, John muttered. Most isn't my son, Robert said. The words landed heavy on marble. Michael tapped a rhythm on the rug. 4 beats. Pause. 4 beats. What's he saying? Evelyn asked. Maybe the pulses, Sophia said. Bursts in 4s. She mirrored the pattern with her fingers. Michael's shoulders dropped another inch. John exhaled. There are 8 units across the property. 1 in his room, nights. 8. Robert's face drained. In his room. If one did this, Sophia said gently, imagine bedtime. Imagine trying to sleep while the ceiling screams in a pitch adults can't hear. Robert stared at his son, small, brave, shaking. Love can be loud without shouting. Shut them all down, he said. Can't from here, John answered. They're integrated. If I drop power, we'll ping the perimeter. Cameras. Press. Drones. Sophia met Michael's gaze. Waiting. Trusting. She nodded once. Then we go to his room, she said. We'll prove it where it hurts most. They climbed the stairs. The hallway glowed hotel soft. Air like weather. Carpet swallowing sound. Family photos lined the wall. Robert smiling, Michael squinting at a kite that tugged the sky. Inside Michael's room, a white disc hid in the crown molding. The world tilted under it, an invisible blade of pressure. The whale mobile over the bed spun a little too fast, as if escaping wind. Sophia stepped onto the bed. If I twist. Stop, John said. You'll trigger alerts. Cut it at the panel, Robert said. Sir, that drops half the fence. What matters more, Robert asked quietly, a fence or a child? John radioed, test in zone 4. 60 seconds. The pressure vanished, and 2 drones blinked awake on his tablet, nosing toward the glass. If they kept the house quiet, the world would get loud. The room changed shape when the hum died. The whale mobile settled. The air lost its edge. Michael blinked like someone opened a window inside his head. He touched the piano, middle keys, low keys, leaned his cheek to the lid and smiled at the soft vibration. He pressed a simple chord. Relief slid through his shoulders. Is this music to him? Robert asked Emma, who had just arrived, warm eyes, patient voice. Music is vibration too, Emma said. Feeling. Pattern. He's always had it. John stared at his tablet. Zones 3 and 2 still on. 6 more humming. If drone C were soft, they'll camp the trees. His thumb hovered over a red slider. Sophia looked at Michael. May I? She played his rhythm. 4 notes. Pause. 4 notes. He answered with the same pattern, brighter. They traded it like a secret handshake. Between phrases, she left space. A gentle pause. He breathed easier. Have you ever realized a child was speaking the whole time, just in a language the adults never learned? When did you last change your language instead of asking a child to change theirs? Robert watched their hands. His own hands shook. He signed the 6 words he knew. Sorry. Dad. Hurt. Stop. Safe. Love. Each clumsy but true. Michael watched as if a sunrise touched the floor, then touched Robert's cheek with 2 fingers. Yes. Sophia glanced at the ceiling disc. If we shut down all units for 1 minute, we'll know. Then we rebuild security the quiet way. John hesitated. Duty battled decency. We'll be exposed. Or we'll be human, Evelyn said softly. What's the use of a fortress if a child can't rest inside it? Robert nodded. 1 minute. His voice didn't shake. John radioed the command. Across the mansion, tiny blue eyes blinked out. The bones of the house unclenched. Down the hall, a photo stopped rattling in its clip. Michael melted into Sophia's shoulder and laughed without sound, the laugh you make when pain remembers how to leave. He signed more. She played softer, lower, kinder. Outside, 2 drones curved toward the south gallery. The tablet flashed. 30 seconds, John said. They'll get a clean shot. Sophia kept playing the pattern and spoke quietly to the grown-ups. Lights under the eaves, she said. Motion. Cameras. Silent fence lines. Laminated glass. Dogs on the far acreage. You don't need noise to be safe. John side-eyed her, reluctant respect waking. You talk like you've done this. I grew up above a nightclub, she said. You learn what hurts and what works. Walls should hold people, not punch them. The drones drifted closer, then peeled away when the motion lights popped on. They didn't like being seen. Robert exhaled. Lights, not noise. Emma smiled. Gentle can still be strong. The minute ended. The world did not break. The house stayed soft. Michael leaned back on the pillow and signed one small word. Careful, safe. Robert touched his son's hair like it might blow away. "We're done with these devices," he said. "All of them. Today." Morning came with cameras at the gate. A reporter lifted a pocket-sized black box, the same kind used on the walls, and clicked it on for a demo. Michael flinched hard. John moved, but not fast enough. The courtyard buckled under a sound no one could hear. Sophia felt it in her teeth. Michael's fingers clawed at her sleeve. The reporter, eager and careless, aimed his grin at the lens. "Harmless youth repeller," he told the world. John knocked the device from his hand. It skittered across stone. "Not here," he said. "Not ever." The man started to argue until he saw Michael shaking and swallowed his headline. Robert stepped forward. He didn't call lawyers. He didn't bark codes. He signed, slow, imperfect, brave. "Stop. Hurts. Child." Then he spoke so lips could be read. "My house used these devices. I was wrong. We're removing every unit and rebuilding silent. If you came for scandal, learn instead." A murmur rolled through the press line. Some lowered cameras. Some didn't. One whispered, "Since when do billionaires apologize?" Inside, Sophia led Michael to the piano. The door stayed open to clean air. Curtains breathed. She signed safe. He pressed his palms to the floor, testing. "Calm." He nodded. She played their 4-beat pattern until his shoulders let go. Have you ever watched a man with everything admit the one thing he missed? Have you ever seen apology change a room's temperature? Changes bloomed through the day. John drew a new perimeter: motion lights, thermal cameras, silent geofencing, smart dogs on the far fields. Evelyn rearranged rooms so Michael lived in the quiet spine of the house. An installer swapped flickering LEDs for warm, steady ones. The gallery glass got film that blurred nosy lenses without dimming the sky. The pool pumps were put on dampers. Even the fridge got a softer hum. Emma set up a long table and taught signs. More. Stop. Safe. Music. Proud. Love. Robert's large hands fumbled and then found rhythm. He practiced in mirrors, in hallways, in elevators that now hummed less. John, stiff at first, kept practicing until he laughed at himself. Evelyn corrected everyone with gentle taps. Sophia's hands learned to sing. Michael's did too. They built a bridge of small movements and patient eyes. A quiet moment. He learned to tap her wrist twice for please. She learned his face when a light buzzed he could feel but she could not. That evening, rain stitched the windows. Michael woke once out of habit, listening for the invisible blade. It didn't come. He watched the ceiling wails, then looked at Sophia dozing in a chair she'd dragged beside his bed. He reached into the air and signed a new word, slow and careful. Home. Sophia blinked awake. She signed back, clumsy and perfect, yes. Robert stood in the doorway and pressed his hands to his mouth. How long had his son been talking while he guarded noise? He turned to John. Box up every device. Label them mistakes. John nodded. Yes, sir. He hesitated. There's paperwork you should see. At dawn, a delivery arrived. 2 final packages from the security vendor. Inside lay the original purchase order, with Robert's signature and 1 extra line in John's handwriting. Add interior units after press incident. Robert stared at it, cold. You did this without telling me? John's face drained. After the mob last month, I panicked. I thought more coverage would keep Michael safe. I was wrong. Robert held the paper. The edges cut. He looked at his son. Then, at John. I trusted you, he said. Not a shout. Something heavier. You wanted safety and built a siren. Sophia watched Michael trace the wood grain on the piano lid. Calm now, present. She signed to him music? He nodded and pressed their 4-beat pattern. She answered. The room breathed with them. Emma stepped closer. Accountability and repair, she said softly. Both, not one. John squared his shoulders. Fire me. But let me fix the perimeter right. No sound. No harm. I'll learn whatever Michael needs me to learn. Robert closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were human, not marble. You'll fix it. And you'll sit with us for sign class. You'll learn the word sorry until your hands know it better than your mouth. Then you'll learn proud, because you'll earn it. John swallowed. Yes. His hands, clumsy, formed sorry. He meant it. He turned to Michael and signed safe. Michael looked at Sophia, then nodded once. Evelyn set wildflowers on the piano. Some mistakes deserve a vase, she said. So we remember what we don't do again. They rebuilt in a week. Lights under the eaves. Thermal lines in the trees. Laminated glass. Quiet paths. Rubber mounts under machines. A house that guarded without screaming. Michael slept like rain. Sophia slept, too, the first real sleep in months. On Sunday morning, the gates opened. Not for cameras. For community. Parents came with questions. Teachers came with notebooks. Robert stood on the steps with Emma and signed a short public message, lips easy to read. If you use youth deterrence, check your homes and schools. Ask your kids what they feel. Be loud with love, quiet with power. He posted the plan online, free, no names, just fixes. Have you ever judged a child's behavior before asking what pain might be behind it? Have you ever mistaken silence for peace? After the crowd left, the house exhaled. Sophia and Michael played their pattern. Robert watched, hands moving in new words, proud, learn. Always. He would never be fluent overnight. But he would be fluent in trying. John arrived with a wooden box. Inside, the black devices lay like fossils. A label on the lid, the Museum of Loud Mistakes. He set it in the basement under lock and memory. Rain tapped the windows again. No hum answered. Michael placed his ear to the piano and smiled. Home, he mouthed without sound. He didn't need sound. Sophia signed back to music? He nodded. They played the 4 beats. Pause. 4 beats. And for the first time since money built the walls, the house kept the right kind of quiet, the kind that lets love be heard in other ways. Silence. A grateful one. What hidden noise have you been living with, at home, at school, at work, that someone braver than you might turn off in a single minute? If you were Sophia, would you pull the plug first or ask for permission while a child suffered? And if you're a parent or teacher, what quiet changes could you make today?